What's going on, fellow Walking Dead fans? This is Solid Dave Snake, bringing you a review on the San Diego Comic-Con 2015 Skybound exclusive Michonne. And once again, Mcfarlane Toys and Skybound have teamed up for an excellent exclusive action figure. I am a little more fond of the comic book series Walking Dead action figures than I am of the TV series action figures. And not only is this action figure one of my favorite of the comic book series line now, but one of my favorite overall. They really did an outstanding job with this action figure, from likeness to her comic book counterpart, the sculpting, paint job, articulation. Everything is off the charts with this action figure. And once again, we get two different versions for this Michonne as an exclusive. We get her in the colored version, which you see out here in front of you, and in the bloody black and white, which I never open or get duplicates to open my bloody black and white figures. So I'll pull her up here and let you check her out. Of course, everything is the same with this one except for the paint job. And this will let you get a good look at the packaging too, because I love these Skybound exclusive packaging. And right down here on the bottom, we get the look that this Michonne is based off of, which is off of the All Out War story arc. So it's nice to get an updated Michonne. And a look at the back. Another look at Michonne and her get up here. So they really did a great job of bringing this version of her into 3D form here. And like I said, it is nice to get an updated Michonne. When I first heard about this being the new Skybound exclusive, I was kind of a little upset not to get a new character, but I really did want an all-out war version of Michonne. And after seeing the actual preview pictures and then getting her in hand now, I am just blown away and ecstatic that this was the exclusive. And if you've been collecting these Skybound exclusives, you'll know this was the very first one. The original Michonne in a bloody version with her cloak. And we'll take the cloak off, her poncho. Give you a little comparison because we will be comparing these two as we go through. And there's about a 100-issue gap in the comic books from this Michonne as she appeared in issue 19 to how she appears in All Out War. And not only has Michonne herself changed a lot in the comic books, but in the way that Mcfarlane Toys has been making these action figures, because it is a big improvement. I do love this original Michonne, but just with what Mcfarlane is doing now, this really looks like it's a lot more from the comic books, like it's Charlie Adler's artwork popping up from the pages at you. So let's kick this off with the accessories. I'll move this Michonne out of the way for a minute, and we'll start off with her main weapon of choice, her katana. And I'll pull it up here. And you tell me where this katana is from. I know, but I'll let you try to guess right now. It is not from her comic book series counterpart, her first outing. This is the original comic series Michonne katanas, and you can tell that this new one is way different, and it is actually based off of the same mold as the TV series 3 Michonne, just painted different. Instead of having the white handle, it is painted black with a little bit of silver in between the straps there. So here's a little evolution of Michonne's katana here for you. And I'm really happy that they chose to use the TV series version of Michonne's katana, because I think it looks a lot more realistic and looks more like the sword she actually uses in the comic books. And she can hold this great. She has a really tight grip. However, that makes it hard for her to hold her next accessory, which is stored in her holster here on the side. Her little handgun, which fits in the holster extremely tight, which is a good thing. And this looks like the same pistol we've gotten with some other TV series figures. Painted silver and the handle black. A little bit of weathering to it. So that's nice, but her hand is so tight, it's a little hard for her to hold this unless you're going to stretch out her grip, which I don't really want to do because I'm only going to be posing or holding her katana. And as you can see, it fits in this holster real nice. So she may be a little light on accessories, especially compared to her Comic Series 1 outing, but I don't mind it at all. This was really all she needed, was a handgun and katana. However, in the preview pictures, it did picture the katana in a scarab or sheath, and that is actually not included with the action figure, which I'm not that upset about because she never really used one in the comic books anyway. She was always kind of just hoeing around her katana as is. So that doesn't bother me as much. But now let's take a look at this Michonne from head to toe, because she is incredible. I mean, wow. Let me pull the original Michonne over, show you how much of an improvement this is. Having them side by side almost makes it look like the Series 1 version isn't any good. Incredible. I love the pissed off expression on her face. That's how Michonne should look. Amazing job with the sculpt and the paint in the eyes. I am just blown away with. It is perfect. It's just, I can't believe that they get these comic series action figures looking so good with their face paint jobs, and the TV series figures, some are lacking so bad. I just don't understand how that's happening that way when this looks this good. I mean, we know Mcfarlane can do it. Looking at this. Excellent shading on the lips. Her hair has different tones to it of brown and black. You can see the headband coming through the dreadlocks right here. And that detail just continues on the back of her dreads. Nice brown shading throughout. It really comes out nice. And I'm a big fan of this black jacket that she wore during this time in the comic books. And you could actually remove this if you wanted to. You could have her arms back and peel it to the side for customizers. Could take advantage of that. But then for this action figure, her arms would not match, since they are sculpted to the jacket. But as you can see, they did not skip out on the detail underneath the jacket here. There's detail flowing through her vest. So if you did want to customize this and put some bare arms after you take this jacket off and the arms off, it would work, because that detail was underneath there. And once again, Michonne has a vest on, this time pink instead of purple like her first appearance action figure. And then she has a green shirt underneath and a scarf around her neck. And you can see her stomach exposed underneath the vest. And it may be hard to see on camera, but she even has a belly button sculpted in there. There we go. So amazing detail. And her arms are sculpted very well for the jacket. Front and back. Nice realistic folds. The gloves came out real nice. A little bit of skin exposed in that hole on them. And as you can see, she has an extremely tight grip for that katana. And same thing on this side. And at the waist, this belt is actually a loose piece that is not connected or glued onto her waist at all. So if you wanted to cut that off, you even could and use it for customs. That holster is excellent. It holds the pistol very well. And great detail on her rear end for having that updated leg articulation. They still seem to match it up to where it doesn't look too ugly displayed from the back. And her jeans are pretty basic, but it's all they need to be. There is shading difference in there from the blue to black. And her boots came out really nice too. So this figure has excellent likeness to her comic book counterpart. And not only does she blow away the first Michonne with the sculpt and paint job, but also in articulation. Now, you're not going to be able to get a whole lot out of the head because of the jacket and the way the dreads are, but you can get a little bit of up and down movement and side to side within that range. But that's about it. And at the shoulders, she has a ball joint and hinge, which will go up to 90 degrees, spin all the way around. And then at the elbows, she has a pagan hinge, which will go up pretty far and all the way back straight and rotate all the way around. So you can get her in double-handed grips because you can get that up to 90 degrees, that elbow joint. So that's nice. And she has the pagan hinge here at the wrist. However, it's hidden really nice with the cuff of the jacket, although it makes it kind of hard to find where that hinge is to move in and out. See if I can find it on this side. Yeah, as you can see, you can't get much movement up and down because of that cuff of the jacket. And she has a little bit of an ab crunch here. She's got a ball joint in there, so you can spin her from side to side here and get a little movement up and down. Not much though, but still, that's a nice piece to have. And then we have that updated leg articulation, which you can kick her really high up. So that's great. And then, of course, I'll show you on this side so I won't get in the way of the holster. You can kick her all the way out with that hinge. So, great movement there. Easy to get her in sitting poses. And then she has the ball joint and hinge at the knees, which you can't necessarily get to 90 degrees. And then back straight and rotate all the way around. And at the foot, she has a ball joint down in there, although it's hidden really nice from the boot. So, great articulation, phenomenal action figure, and let's get her set up here. Get her sword back in her hand, and I'm going to start pulling out some of her all-out war buddies here to see how she looks with them, because we are starting to get a nice cast. As you can see, she holds this sword really tight. It's tough to initially get it in there. But, alright, let's start pulling them out here. Of course, this isn't a all-out war version of Rick, but he looks pretty close to how he looked in that storyline right here. Put him right beside Michonne, since that's his girl. We'll get the new comic series 4 Carl out here. We'll get her boyfriend Ezekiel, and heck, what's Ezekiel without his tiger, right? And then we'll throw in Jesus. And now for some of the saviors. We got Negan, and we got Dwight. So the all-out war cast is rounding out pretty nice in the comic book series. I like this a lot, guys. So, alright, I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope you can get your hands on your own Michonne, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. And thank you, guys. And stay tuned, because I have picked up the Walking Dead Comic Series 4 action figures, and the reviews will be coming up through the week. So stay tuned for those, guys, and I'll catch you then.